Hey dolls, it's your girl Najiyanasimeon, and today I'll be sharing a video on how I started my hair extension business with just only $0. Just a background story of who I am and what my business is. My name is Najiyana. I'm the owner of Trinity Deluxe Hair Extensions. I've been in business for about 3 years now. I started back in May 22nd, 2018. I started my business because I always wanted to be in the hair industry. Like when I was younger, all I knew was hair. I was always surrounded by my family members who own hair salons and barbershops and everything. I was only 16 at the time. So I was able to get a job, but not the job that I wanted. Like, I wasn't able to really get in a salon and be an assistant, be a receptionist. A lot of people back then, they required so much. Now it's easy, but back then, they just required so much, and you had to have some type of history, some type of background, and I didn't really, I had that, but they didn't want to hear that I had that from, coming from a family member. They wanted to hear something, professional. So it was really hard for me to really get a job in what I wanted to do. So one day, I was just in my room, and I was just like, I'm going to start a hair business. Like, I'm going to sell hair. Like, I can't get in a shop. I'm not licensed to do hair. How about just sell hair? Like, that's 1 foot in the door. That's 1 foot in the hair world. Why not? So I started doing my research on YouTube. YouTube is my best friend. I love YouTube. If you need help with anything, I don't care what it is, YouTube is your guy. For sure it is. But I started going on YouTube searching no, I'm lying. My first video I ever searched was how to start a business with no money, honestly. And it really wasn't helpful, honestly. Like, it was people saying they started a business with $0, but then going to say that they spent $50 on this and $60 on this, and then it's just like, but technically speaking, you didn't start with $0. I mean, absolutely $0, right? Absolutely $0. So I was just like, the videos on how to start is not helping, but the videos on how to find a vendor, how to test your vendor to make sure that it's great was all helpful. So I absorbed all of that knowledge, and then I ran across something on Google. It was like a website. It was this girl, I can't remember her business name. I think it was like something galore. I believe she had a YouTube channel, but she never really touched on it. But I went on her website. Oh, I'm getting ahead of myself. I went on her website because her YouTube video talked about on how to find a vendor, and she said if you wanted more in-depth step, you had to visit her website. So I went on her website. I wanted her to be my vendor. I wanted to actually wholesale from her, but then I stumbled over something called drop shipping. What is drop shipping? Drop shipping basically, and like in our terms, drop shipping is basically when your hair directly come from your vendor, or whatever you sell directly come from your vendor and go straight to your customer. Like, it don't even come to you at all. Like, you have to literally put all your trust in your vendor to discreetly label everything correctly and then send it off and trust that it gets off to your customer or whatever. So she had like a drop shipping mentor program, but it costs money. And again, $0 in my bank account. So I actually started to do my own research on a vendor. I actually found my vendor like off Google. Like, back then, like things like Alibaba or DHgate, none of them things was like really big sources back then. Now it's way easier, but back then when I started, it really wasn't big on it. Like, it was out, but it really wasn't nothing big, so I didn't know anything. I found my vendor, and I asked her, did she know what dropshipping is? And she was like, yes, she knows what it is. Her customers, she got a lot of customers that do it. All her customers pretty much do it or whatever. So I got to talk to her how much each bundle was going to cost, the price of shipping and all that. Now, one thing about China shipping, or for real, any overseas shipping, it is expensive. Like, when I say that it's expensive, that is expensive. It was like, back then it was like $20, now it's like $35, $40 for shipping. Back then it was like between $17 and $25 for shipping. I think my shipping was like $20 or maybe even $25 back then. Can't really remember, but the sugar honey iced tea was high. I sent her my logo. I had actually made my logo of some photo grid app. It was so corny. I'm gonna insert a picture how my logo looked. It was so corny. Y'all see that? Corny. But this is how my logo looks now. New and approved. I did it myself, and then I actually went to like a graphic designer, and she went over it and touched it up. But anyway, back to my vendor. Except for stock photos. If you don't know what stock photos are, basically it's like when you go on a website and the pictures look professionally done, like taken. Yeah, that's stock photos. So I asked her for stock photos, basically pictures of her business. We used to post pictures of their vendor, what their vendor sent them, and now that's not good. That's not a good way of marketing. You don't know who else got that picture like you. You don't know who else picture that actually is and the vendor actually took. It's crazy now. But I had posted the pictures that my vendor had sent me with my logo on it, and that's how I started to get my customer. I got like 5 orders the first week that I dropped. I was so excited. I had set my own price. So for example, say 3 bundles with my vendor was $100. I charged my customers $200 for 3 bundles, and the vendor would get her $100 cut, and then I could pocket the other $100. So right there, I just made $100 without no money, without no inventory, without nothing. Like I pocket 100, my vendor pocket 100. So that's how it went. So she took the 100, she shipped out to my customers. They got it in like a decent amount of time, like 2 to 3 days. It was really fast. It was really good. And then I was able to pocket $100. I started like saving up so eventually I can buy inventory. But like that's another horror story. I will share that story with y'all another time. How I created my business name. Now my business name is Trinity Deluxe Extension. I got my name because I'm Trinidadian on my father's side, and my name is Najiyana. That's how I came up with Naj Trini. And I was just like, I want to build an empire. I want to keep a legacy going. So why not name my business after my social media name? So it was Trini Deluxe, because the hair is supposed to be like luxury. So it was Trini Deluxe Extensions. That's how I came up with my name. The websites that I used when I first started my business was Big-cartel. Big-cartel was really difficult for me because it wasn't really a lot of payment options that you could use with Big-cartel. Baby, sorry, I have a dog and she keeps running over my stand. But anyway, Big-cartel was really a struggle for me because the payment options that they had were only like PayPal. And PayPal was a pain in the... Mind you, PayPal is really good if you're running a business and, you know, you're looking for something that's, you know, customer friendly, owner friendly. But at 16, PayPal wasn't it. It wasn't. First of all, I had to make a PayPal account and I had to lie about my age. So every time that I did have a problem, I had to call, I tell them my actual birthday, and they'd be like, oh, you're too young. And I'm like, oh, I'm sorry, it's this date. So that was really hard for me because I lied about my age. It was a lot of things to do to verify myself. That was annoying. I had to wait so long to get payments. Like my first order, they told me I had to wait 30 days to get the payment because I'm a new owner. But it's just like, I have to get that the half of the money to my vendor so my vendor could ship out in, you know, a nice amount of time. So I had to fight with that, had to struggle with that. At that point, some point I had stopped using Big-cartel and I was doing orders off of Cash App, so unprofessional. I wouldn't recommend. And then it was just, I reached a point where it was just like my first year, I was just fed up. Like my first year, I had made $10,000. My first year of business back in 2018, but it was just so harsh because I really didn't see the money, honestly. Between my bad spending habits, PayPal with the crazy fees, PayPal holding my money, the money getting stuck, the money getting lost, I just really didn't have a good experience with PayPal back then. Now I would honestly try PayPal. Like PayPal is actually good, but it was just hard because I wasn't of age and I had to try to finesse the system. Never try to finesse the system. Highly wouldn't recommend. So it was really hard. So I got into Shopify because I noticed that the YouTubers that I watched, they did Shopify and they loved it and it was easy. So I started it and I fell in love. Like it was so easy to set up my website. It was easy to set up the payments. I didn't have to use PayPal. Shopify had their own payment section going on. So it was really easy to do that. I only had to wait 1 or 2 of the business days to get my money. Like everything was a flow. But my struggles, y'all might have heard me say it, but my struggles throughout my business was dealing with money. Like, I really have a bad habit with money. Like, I have a hard time with saving. So to this day, I had a hard time back in 2018. It's 2021 now, and I still have a hard time with saving, but I'm getting better at that. My struggles was honestly conducting customer service, because I never actually took a class or went to school for that, but I have gotten better. I am getting better. I am still working on that. My strength was being self-motivated. I'm very self-motivated. Like, sometimes I get down and I doubt myself, but I'll be there to pat myself back on the back. I'll be there to, just keep going. I decided to make my first YouTube video on how I started my business with $0. I hope I helped a lot of people. It's really ins and out of this business stuff. I also wanted to show you a sample of my hair. This is like my packaging now. This is actually a HD lace deep wave 18 inches, and this is how like my packaging is. I got my logo, my hair. This is deep wave hair. I got my own bundle wrap, my own hair tag. This is actually deep wave color 1B 24 inches. This is also another deep wave 1B 24 inches, and I believe this is the same thing. Oh no, actually this is 22 inches, and it's just my deep wave, my Peruvian deep wave hair collection. This is 3. So to comment down below some ideas on videos that I can do. My channel is really mainly going to be about my entrepreneur lifestyle, my regular lifestyle, girl talk. I had put pranks and stuff on my banner. I made my banner like last year, but I'm not doing any pranks. Like, I doubt it. Like, I may, but right now I just feel like I wouldn't. Like, that's not really my thing. I want to keep my channel like solely based on, 2 to 3 things. That way, like, my content won't be all over the place, and I could get better at one thing instead of trying to do 1,000 things at once. But yeah, I hope y'all enjoyed the video. I hope I can help a lot of you girls more with starting a business. If you need help starting a business, just comment down below. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and keep up with your girl, because this journey, this entrepreneur, this lifestyle journey that I'm going for, it's not easy, but I'm willing to take on it head first, and I'm willing to take you guys with me.